The St. Louis Jewish Book Festival's Missouri's Own event features and brings attention to authors from our state. And here today is an author from this year's event, Leonard Adreon, author of Hilltop Doc. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Adreon, so happy to have you here today to talk about your new book just published,
right?
So you, at age 90 last year, were inspired to write a book, a memoir, about your time in the Korean War, which was decades ago. So what compelled you at this stage of your life to write down your story?
The faculty at Washington University, where I facilitate a memoir writing class, heard about my experiences in Korea and knew that for 62 years I didn't say a word to anybody about what happened in Korea. And Chancellor Mark Wrighton of Washington U encouraged me because he read a manuscript of what I was writing, and he and I met, and he said that I should write a book about the experience because he thought that a book about the realities of war would be something valuable.
Yeah.
But the reason I wrote the book was because the Korean War has been ignored and was a forgotten war by most of the people in the United States and elsewhere. And I wanted to honor the people that I fought with, those who died, who didn't come back, those who were injured and have had an impediment because of that throughout their lives. So it's for those people that I wrote the book.
So for 62 years, you didn't talk about the war.
I did not.
And why was that?
It began when I was given orders to leave my battalion. And I remember it vividly. It was a dark, dark morning, middle of winter, 1952. A cold wind with a cold, icy mist was blowing in. And I was standing on a rice paddy, which had been made into a copter pad, waiting for the copter that would take me away. And I must have looked like a forlorn figure because I was wearing my drab Marine Corps winter gear. My carbine slung across my shoulder, but my holstered 45 on my belt. And the members of my patrol, my platoon, showed up. And they came there to say goodbye. And we hugged and we shook hands. It was really a final goodbye. And we talked. And the consensus was Korea was going to be put behind us. No reunions, no exchange of telephone numbers, no exchange of addresses. It was over. And
the reason for that was because there was so much trauma, so many people lost their lives, and you didn't want to recall that when you were together?
We felt that to go into the future, it would be healthier for us to try to forget Korea, focus on what we're going to do with our lives, and put it behind us. There's carnage, there's blood, there's destruction, there's horror, and to carry that with us would impede our ability to make a future for ourselves. And so that was what we did.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 25.
So even at the young age of 25, you had the foresight to think about your mental health and your comrades the same moving forward. And you repressed these memories, but they were still there.
Oh yeah, they were very vividly there, but I didn't know all those years afterwards, that's 62 years, that they were there. They only came to light because I was asked to go to a class that was on Korea at the Lifelong Learning of Washington U, because the facilitator of the class was a friend of mine. He said, give it a shot, let the class ask you some questions. And I discovered when I answered their questions that my mind was very clear, crisp, vivid about exactly what happened. I remembered the faces, I remembered the explosions, the mist, and the smoke, and the death, and the destruction, and the carnage, and it was very vivid. And I surprised myself because I knew all that, and that's what led to the faculty encouraging me to write about it, and that's what encouraged Chancellor Wrighton to tell me a book would be a valuable thing to do. So
it's amazing. That's a great tribute to memoir writing. Stay with us at STL Live. We'll have more with Leonard Adreon after this break.